All right, welcome back. Algebraic proofs, really simple. On the left side here, we've solved the question, okay? We went from 5y minus 1 divided by 2 equals 7. We moved the 2, we moved the 1, we moved the 5, and we're finished, okay? All we did here is normal math. You just solved the question. The kids I teach in first period Algebra 1, they could solve this question, okay? Now, over here is the reasons that you're allowed to do it, right? Basically, the properties. And so you don't have to actually list or actually do any math. You just need to write down what is allowing you to do these things, okay? The only thing that's a little funky here is at the very first line, okay? The very first line, you need to write given, okay? Because so far, nothing has happened, okay? Literally, all they did was give you the question. So you write given, because there's nothing for us to analyze yet. There's no rules that need to be followed. They just told us the question, all right? Now, when you're solving these proofs, the good news is that out of all of these that we learned on the back, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, distributive, substitution, reflexive, symmetric, transitive, these funky ones like reflexive, symmetric, transitives, they're not going to be involved. Substitution, 99% of the time, is not going to be involved. You're going to work with just the 5 basic ones. Did you add, subtract, multiply, divide, or distribute? Okay, so you don't have to think or you don't have to look for these complicated processes. Just what did the Algebra 1 student do, right? How did they get from line 1 to line 2? I see that they moved this 2. The 2 is gone. And how did they move that 2? Did they add 2 to both sides? Subtract 2 to both sides? Did they use multiplication? Did they use division? They used multiplication, okay? The 2 is divided, and how do you move a divided by 2? You got to use opposites. So they used the multiplication property. You're pretty much just trying to figure out what happened, right? You're just trying to be a detective and just look at them solving it and try to figure out what the heck did they do, right? How did we get from this second line down to the third line? There used to be a minus 1, but they moved it away. So how did they move this minus 1 away? They used addition. Right? They added it to the other side. I know. Isn't it a shame to hear people being stupid out in the hallways? And the last one, and pretty much the way you finish every single question, how do you finish it off? How do you move that 5? Finish with division. Nice job. A lot of people like to say, I hate proofs, but the reality is they probably haven't tried it, okay? All you need to do is try to figure out what did that student do, okay? They were given the question. We can put given as the first one, okay? How did they get from line 1 to line 2? What happened here? I see a bunch of parentheses. Distribute, easy. Distributive, excellent. Then we move on. What happened next to get from 2 to 3? I'm looking here. I see that my 5W is gone. How did they move this 5W away? They used addition. They added plus 5W on both sides. Then I see that this minus 8 is missing. How did they go from the third step to the fourth step? The minus 8 got moved. They did another step of addition. Right? First they did a plus 5W on both sides. Now they did a plus 8 on both sides. And how do you finish pretty much every single algebra question? Finish with divide. Alright, algebraic proofs. You're pretty much just trying to think, what the heck was that algebra student doing when they were solving it? Not all that bad.